Welcome to another episode of Gaming and Performance. I'm your host. I've returned with another video. And in this video, I'm going to actually show you how to lower latency using timer resolution in Windows 10. So let us begin. As you're aware, latency monitor is on the screen as well as intelligent standby list cleaner. Originally, I told you didn't need it anymore for removing memory because we have RAM map for that. However, there is a way to lower timer resolution if you're still using Windows 10 because a lot of people went to Windows 11 to actually get the function to work because it's locked out in Windows 10 starting with I believe 20H2. So everyone went to Windows 11 and enabled a registry tweak to re-enable timer resolution to lower your latency. But you won't need to do that because there is a way of doing it in Windows 10, and I'm going to show you live, even as I'm recording, that it does indeed work. Now, I'm going to run latency mon like we normally do. I'm going to show you the latency real quick. I'm just going to run it for a few seconds and you're going to see what normally comes up when you know you have low latency. As you can see, it's set to 1 millisecond, but it really doesn't tell you if it's really working or not. We just assume that it did. However, there's a way of knowing if whether or not the current timer resolution is being applied. And I'm going to show this little icon right here. Kernel timer latency. You have to click on this in order to know if the timer resolution is being applied. No one's telling you that. I'm telling you that. Click on it, go to kernel timer latency, hit OK. Now what's going to happen here is that I have a current timer resolution set to 1 millisecond. We're going to run this again. Don't be surprised to what you see. As you can see, I'm 12 milliseconds of latency and it's showing in the red. Not to be alarmed because that is normal. This is the operating system running at normal latency. For whatever reason, we're locked out of it in Windows 10, which is why people go to Windows 11, but this is what you're going to normally get. It's going to be somewhere between 12 and 15 milliseconds of delay. And as you can see here, it was supposed to be at 1 millisecond. It didn't work. I'm going to start it and I'm going to lower it to my current timer resolution. I'm going to start it again and see if it changes anything. It went up to 14. That's funny. Stop it again, start it, and it's back down to 11. So it fluctuates. Because it didn't change much. It's definitely not at 0.5. We know that this isn't working. So let's stop it. We're going to stop this. And we're going to run an app that for some reason it's been conspired to not use with Windows 10 or Windows period. It's been outdated and it was replaced by Latency Mon. It's called DCP Latency Checker. I used to use it back in Windows 7 days. Now it's a pretty old app, no doubt about it. However, at the start of Windows 10, everyone was still using it. And then somewhere after Windows 10 was released, we went to Latency Mon. However, as you can see, Latency Mon does nothing to lower latency. However, let me show you DPC latency check. It's on, and every time you click on it, it's going to automatically start. You don't really need it on. You can just turn it off. So let's stop it, but do not exit. It's showing around 1 millisecond. Let's start Latency Mon again and see what happens. Would you look at that? Latency Mon now lowered to 1 millisecond using the kernel timer latency, not the interrupt to user process latency. It is now at 1 millisecond. Why has Latency Mon not able to replicate this from DPC Latency Checker? I don't know. It does affect how competitive you are in Call of Duty, Battlefield, CSGO, Valorant, and all the other games you like to play competitively. This is how to fix it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop it. Now, do keep in mind, I am recording, so there's going to be some fluctuation. But what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to enable timer resolution. I'm going to start it, and you can see it change, and I'm going to start it again. Let's see what happens. As you can see, it went down even more. So now, for the first time, the current timer resolution from Intelligent Standby List Cleaner is now having an effect on my operating system. Look how low that is. It's working. I don't know any other way of getting it to lower without using DPC Latency Checker. Let's go back and let's stop this. And let's change this from kernel timer latency to interrupt to user process, which is where it defaults to. And let's turn it on and see what happens. Look at that. That's really low. That's less than 100. That's really low. So you now know that it's going to reduce your latency. And now you can actually see it change in Latency Mon to lower your latency. Now all you got to do is play it in game. There are some tweaks out there that hint to this, but they do a lot of other placebos that you don't want it doing and messing up your operating system. This is the only thing that's going to lower it. If they talk about other tweaks, you can forget about it. If it's other scripts, forget about it. This is the only way to do it. And I'll leave a link to where to download DPC Latency Checker. Stop the process. Let it run in the background, set your timer resolution to where you want, and play your game. I do thank you for your time. Have a nice day.